Eberechi Eze chose Tottenham, another blockbuster Manchester United transfer. Barcelona found Lewandowski's replacement, and Gyokeres revealed why he chose Arsenal. All of this and more in today's episode. Alexander Zinchenko may change clubs before the end of the transfer window. Fenerbahçe is in the final stages of negotiations with Arsenal. According to Sporks, the Turkish club's sporting director, Devin Özbek, arrived in London to meet with Andrea Berta, and the parties have already reached an agreement. 10 million euros is the amount that Fenerbahçe offered, and the Gunners have agreed. Now everything depends on Zinchenko himself. The club plans to involve Jose Mourinho in the negotiations, as he is insisting on the transfer of the Ukrainian and has personal influence. According to Turkish sources, Zinchenko's reaction to the offer was unexpected. He did not reject the option, although he had not previously considered Turkey as the next step. The official transfer is expected to be finalized in the coming days. At the same time, Porto has shown interest in Zinchenko. The Portuguese club has already contacted the player and Arsenal, but a concrete offer has not been made. Fenerbahçe is acting fast, Mourinho is putting pressure on, and Zinchenko is at a crossroads. Liverpool is in active negotiations for the transfer of Marc Guehi, and this could be a decisive step in Arne Slot's defensive rebuild. According to Fabrizio Romano, the club has already agreed to personal terms with the Crystal Palace captain, but negotiations over the transfer fee are ongoing. Palace values the player at over £40 million, and after the inconsistent play of Konate and Van Dijk against Bournemouth, they may demand up to £50 million. Guehi is entering the final year of his contract, and Palace risks losing him for free next summer. The player himself is open to a move, but wants guarantees of playing time, especially before the 2026 World Cup. His status in the England national team is already in question, and a move to Liverpool seems like a chance to return to the top level. The situation around Ibrahima Konate only increases the pressure for Guehi's transfer. The Frenchman is entering the final year of his contract, and several clubs have become active. Barcelona has already held talks with his agents. Deco wants to sign Konate for free next summer, beating out Real Madrid. Chelsea has also entered the race, and not just due to a lack of squad depth. Head coach Enzo Maresca publicly criticized Wesley Fofana and Benoit Badiashile, stating, "Fofana played 45 minutes in the center of the back three, one of our worst halves, and Badiashile was losing 1-0 in the Conference League final. We replaced him with Colwill and won 4-1. That's not the level." After Colwill's serious injury, Maresca stated directly, "A central defender is a priority. We are looking for a solution." Liverpool is trying to extend Konate's contract, but according to Ben Jacobs, there has been no breakthrough yet. If a deal is not reached, Guehi will be a direct replacement. Joe Gomez has chronic injuries, Leone is only an 18-year-old talent, and Van Dijk is at the end of his career. After selling Jarell Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen for £30 million, Liverpool is left with three centre-backs, and if the club wants to maintain its championship ambitions, the Guehi transfer must happen now, before Chelsea and Barcelona hijack Konate. Manchester United has backed out of the Carlos Baleba transfer. Brighton set a price tag of £115 million, and the club decided not to continue negotiations. According to The Athletic, after direct contact with Brighton, it became clear the Cameroonian is not for sale this summer, and if he does leave, it will be for a record fee. Against this backdrop, United has switched to Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace. The club has already held initial talks, and Palace values the Englishman at £70 million. Wharton is not just an alternative, but a new priority for Ruben Amorim, who sees him as a foundational player for building the midfield. Wharton is not a typical English holding midfielder. He stands out with his exceptional composure on the ball, his ability to read the game, and his knack for launching attacks from deep. At Crystal Palace, he played both in a single pivot and in a double pivot, demonstrating flexibility and maturity uncharacteristic of a 21-year-old player. His style is a mix of control, tempo, and vertical thinking. In matches against top teams, he did not get lost. On the contrary, he took the initiative, which particularly impressed United's scouts. Amorim wants to make Wharton the conductor of the new system, a player who not only protects the defense, but also sets the rhythm of the game. Compared to Baleba, who is more focused on physicality and dribbling, Wharton is about intelligence, balance, and strategy. This is exactly the type of midfielder United has been missing for the past few seasons. After losing control in the midfield, the transfer of Wharton is not just a reaction to the failure with Baleba, but a conscious choice in favour of a more systematic approach. If the deal is completed, United will get not just another talent, but a potential brain for the team for years to come. Eberechi Eze has made his choice. He wants to move to Tottenham and has already agreed to personal terms with the club. According to Sacha Tavolieri, the Englishman is pushing for the transfer and may be excluded from the Crystal Palace squad for the match against Chelsea on Sunday. These are not just rumours. The Spurs have already opened negotiations with Palace and are ready to activate the £68 million release clause that is active until the end of the week. New coach Thomas Frank is building an attacking system with an emphasis on technique, control and vertical play, and sees Eze as the new conductor. Eze is not just a number 10, but a versatile attacking midfielder who can play from deep, on the wing or between the lines. His dribbling, balance and ability to create chances out of nothing are exactly what Tottenham has been lacking since losing its creative leaders. Palace has almost resigned itself to Eze's departure and has already found a replacement. It's Bilal El Khanous, a 21-year-old attacking midfielder from Leicester City and the Moroccan national team. Crystal Palace has already agreed to personal terms with him, but the first offer of £20 million was rejected. Negotiations are ongoing, and the Eagles are determined. El Khanous can play as a playmaker or in a system with 3 attacking midfielders. This is exactly the type of player Palace is looking for to compensate for the loss of Eze. If both deals are completed, we will see one of the fastest transfer swaps of the summer. Eze is packing his bags for London, and El Khanous is returning to the Premier League. Real Madrid has opened the door to a high-profile swap. Rodrygo goes for William Saliba. According to Marca, the Madrid club is seriously considering a direct swap, and President Florentino Perez does not rule anything out. This is not just speculation. Sources confirm that Real has already discussed such a possibility internally. The reason is strategic. Saliba is considered a generational player, and Real sees him as a long-term pillar of the defense. Despite signing Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth, new coach Xabi Alonso wants stability at the heart of the defense, and Saliba is a priority. The Frenchman has 2 years left on his contract with Arsenal, but the Madrid club hopes that the offer involving Rodrygo will make the Londoners think. On the other hand, Rodrygo is one of Real's highest-paid players, earning £350,000 a week, and the club is willing to let him go. In Madrid, he is no longer considered indispensable, especially after he lost his starting status at the Club World Cup. For Arsenal, this is a chance to get a top winger who can fill the left flank position. However, Arsenal is not yet ready for such a swap. The club is working on a new long-term contract for Saliba and considers him key to their title ambitions. According to Give Me Sport, the Gunners are not planning to sell the Frenchman, but do not rule out that the situation could change closer to the end of the window, especially if Rodrygo himself pushes for the move. For now, the deal seems difficult and unlikely, but in Madrid, it is not off the table. If Arsenal does not agree, Real will switch to Ibrahima Konate, who is entering the final year of his contract with Liverpool. Mikel Arteta gave an emotional interview to Men in Blazers, where he talked about how he first met new Arsenal striker Victor Gyokeres. The Spaniard did not hide his admiration for the Swede's character. "My first call to Gyokeres, I just wanted to see his reaction. He said, 'Arsenal is my dream. I feel his confidence, his dominance, that audacity when he says on the field, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." He has the same energy as Jesus in his best form, but even more direct, more hungry for goals." After Mikel Arteta's emotional interview, where he mentioned the first call to Victor Gyökeres, the Swede himself confirmed, "When I heard Arteta's voice, I knew it was it. I imagined myself in that jersey, with that crest, in that stadium, and I said, this is my dream. I could have gone to other clubs, but when you feel that they really want you, not just as a player, but as a person, it changes everything. When we played in the Champions League against Arsenal, I thought then, this is a team that plays with heart and mind. It was very difficult against them, and I wanted to be a part of it. I love to attack space, to be direct, to take responsibility." Arteta said, "I want you to be the leader of the attack," and I replied, "I'm ready." When asked why he didn't choose United or PSG, Gyokeres replied, "I wasn't looking for the biggest contract, I was looking for the biggest challenge, and I found it at Arsenal." Guys, what do you think? Will Gyokeres become the attacking leader that Arsenal has been looking for many years? Barcelona is already planning for life after Robert Lewandowski, and Dusan Vlahovic has become one of the main candidates for the role of the new centre-forward. According to Fichajes, the Catalans are closely monitoring the situation around the Serb, whose contract with Juventus expires in the summer of 2026. If the Turin club does not extend his contract, Vlahovic could move to Barca as a free agent, with no transfer fee. The club believes that Vlahovic is capable of becoming a long-term replacement for Lewandowski, who will be 37 when his contract expires inspires. The Serbs' style of play, physical, direct, with an emphasis on finishing, fits perfectly into the new attacking model that Hansi Flick is building for the 2026-27 season. Vlahovic himself, according to the source, is interested in the challenge of La Liga, and Barcelona is one of the clubs he is considering. Juventus is ready to sell the forward this summer for approximately €30 million, but Barca is not in a hurry. Financial constraints are forcing the club to act strategically. If Vlahovic does not extend his contract, the Catalans could get a top forward for free. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action and have a wonderful day.